Embrace the darkness, Jackie.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Darkness 2 Dawn difficulty video walkthrough. This is chapter 16 entitled Homecoming. And this is probably the last real hurdle before the end of the game, because this is a long mission and it has some difficult fights in it. You're going to be taking on the tougher enemies you've been fighting, a bunch of the smaller enemies, and there's going to be lots of rooms filled with just lots of dudes. So get ready for an action-packed, last quarter of the game. And if you're good at using the cover, if you're good at taking on enemies, then you'll have no issue. If you've been watching this entire guide and you've seen me deal with many situations, you'll probably be just as confident as I was, and you'll be able to blast through the last section of this game. And just be aware of the light, be aware of where everybody is, pay attention, and you shouldn't struggle whatsoever. And because it is pretty simple, and you'll notice I use the explosive here to spawn kill those guys, and once you do that and you kill him, there's going to be a couple of the teleporter dudes that turn up, so I come over here and get some more. And it's all standard fare. You don't really need me to tell you how to suck eggs at this point, unless you're new to egg sucking, and if so, you put it in your mouth and give it a suck. But I'm going to talk about some other shit, because this is all standard Darkness 2 fare, and I'll probably pine up when we go into one of the big arenas just to warn you what's coming. But aside from that, this is all standard stuff. You've seen it before. You've done it yourself, and you're pretty close to the end now, folks. So just keep pushing forward for that achievement. But I'm going to look at some game news, because I'm running out of topics off the top of my head to talk about, and I don't want to just talk shit for the sake of talking shit. I'd like to at least have a purpose. And I've been scanning through some websites, and I'm on Games Radar right now. Nice little name drop there. Give me a job. And they've got a Last Guardian development story on here. So for anybody that's a Sony fan or has got a PS3, you're probably wanting to know this. I hope you would, because this is the same people that developed Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, and they're a very arty but very good development team. And their next game is called The Last Guardian. And if anybody remembers, a couple of years back at E3 they showed it off, but we've not seen it since. A lot of people thought it was dead, but apparently the development is continuing. It's just continuing at a very slow pace. And I don't really know much about the game aside from the fact that you play as I think it's like a little kid, and there's this giant like cat-faced chicken thing that is your slash guardian, and it's going to be the relationship between those two, and they're going to be going on some kind of adventure. And it doesn't sound like much when you look at it in the grand scheme of things these days, because there's a lot of gamers that, unless you're shooting dudes in the face for 4 hours and driving fucking Humvees and going Oscar Mike Charlie Tango every 2 minutes, that they don't really care. But if you played Ico and you played Shadow of the Colossus, you'll know that these people make really good games, and they make games like no other company does. They're really unique, so I'm totally stoked for whatever that game's going to be. And it's probably going to be 2013 when it comes out with the looks of this, because I can't see it coming out this year, but it would be nice if it does. And I don't really know too much about that game as far as, if they'd have difficulty, because there's generally not even that much of a HUD to those games. They're more of an arty thing, they're more like an experience than anything else. But do not let that put you off, because it's still superb games. And then we've got the UFC Undisputed 3 review, and I've not really gone anywhere near this. I hadn't even played the demo, and I think it's because I'm kind of burned out on the games, because they're annualizing them like FIFA's, and it's like I really enjoyed the first Undisputed, and then the second one they introduced the ducking and the swaying, which made the punching and the kicking really fun, but they changed the ground game, and it made it less fun for me, because I couldn't manipulate the floors pretty much and shit on people's faces, which kind of sucked. But this is a tough room. This is the first gauntlet. This is probably one of the hardest fights on the game. And what's going to happen is you have to examine the photo on the piano of your father. When you do so, enemies are going to drop into this arena and start attacking you, and they're going to come in waves. And it's going to be a bunch of normal small dudes, then a couple of shield guys, then a couple of teleporting guys, then a couple of small dudes, and so on. And you're going to get attacked by a really big military force. So if you run underneath this balcony, this is where you want to sit. and use whatever abilities you want to use. I just used the gun channeling with my Desert Eagle to take out the teleporting guys. You'll notice there is a bunch of shields over here that you can use as makeshift cover. Make sure you use them, and if anybody gets close to you, you need to eat their heart. You need to execute them, eat their heart, and get your life back. And staying under here makes sure that the enemies have to come to you and you can't get shot from every direction. And the reason why this can be challenging is purely because of the number of enemies trying to kill you, but the reason why you shouldn't have too much of a trouble with it, or too much of an issue, is every time you kill a wave, you get a checkpoint. And if you die, you'll come back from that checkpoint, and then you'll kill the next wave and get another checkpoint. So, if you persevere, if you don't have the skill to survive it, you will do it by sheer attrition. So there's the checkpoint. That means there's going to be another wave of dudes, which means there's going to be more teleporting guys. It means there's going to be a disarmer like that guy, maybe some shield people, maybe some light people, and a bunch of the small guys. So just react accordingly, kill them, use your abilities if you have them. And be careful of that dickhead who keeps stealing my shit, because I really don't like that kid at all. But he got the swarm ability, which is such a good move, and if you've not bought it, it's just really useful for getting you out of bad situations. Like right now, that guy who's firing that shit at me, if I'd used the swarm, he wouldn't be able to hold that light on me, and it would have just made that super easy. But same with the gun channeling. The gun channeling will kill everything. It is so powerful. But just don't forget to eat the hearts. You're probably wondering why I'm not using the striker. The reason for that is I'm trying to save it because I know there's a lot of fights coming up and I want to use it against the last boss, so I'm kind of hoarding ammo for it. But in the end, I hoard a little bit too much ammo and I could have used it because I end up finishing the game with about 100 shots left, so you do not have to be as conservative as I'm being. Oh, just listen to this gun. I love this fucking gun, man. It's awesome. And a couple of the melee guys are coming now, backed up by those dudes. Nothing you can't handle. The only time it gets a little bit gay is the last phase is 2 of the teleporting quick guys, and then if you don't kill them fast enough, a shield guy will drop, and a guy with a light will drop, and a normal soldier. So you just need to be aware that if you don't deal with them fast enough, you'll have quite a diverse bunch of goons trying to attack you. But there's the last checkpoint, and this is when the dudes drop. There's the teleporter. He's going to have a buddy. There's his buddy. You can use gun channeling if you have it. I'm waiting on the cooldown right now. It would have saved me a lot of time. You'll notice I moved to this far hand side of the arena because I can see the light grenades going off. That means that the dude with the shield has dropped and the guy with the lights over there as well. So I'm putting this pillar to my left between me and the light guy, and I'm focusing on the dude who's teleporting. Now he's dead. All I have to kill is the guy with the light and the guy with the shield. Once I've done that, we've done one of the hardest parts of the game, and we'll get a lovely checkpoint and you can breathe out. So I use the lovely swarm there to fuck him up, and then I execute him with a quick grab. And that is probably the easiest way to survive that room. There you go, nice and simple. Pick up the ammo, progress through to the next room, and we're coming close to the end of the first part of Homecoming. But yeah, Uncharted, what the fuck am I on about? UFC Undisputed 3. No doubt it's going to be a really cool game. I'm really excited because they've introduced Pride into it, so you're going to be able to do some head kicking and some stomps. And playing with the awesome gloves and the iconic ring in Japan, so that could be a really fun different game type in it. But I'm gonna rent it. I'm not gonna buy it because like the career mode is just not enough. I don't know what it is. I can't get hooked into it like I used to, and it's maybe my tastes are changing. I still love UFC. I just find the games to be not as interesting, but. There is a shrine to upgrade some abilities if there's anything you're missing or anything you want. I've just got, I think, cooldown or... Oh, I'm sorry. That is so the swarm will hit more enemies. But that is the end of the first video, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope it helped. And you take care now.